Good morning. World of green seems slightly threatening this morning as tensions in the South China Sea continue mounting despite a seemingly placid U.S. administration. As U.S. warships increase their patrols near contested islands, U.S. equities closed up yesterday, led by Russell's 2.5% increase. Reuters this morning reports that Goldman Sachs have upped U.S. GDP forecasts for Q2 to 11% and expect the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates in 2024. Later this afternoon, we'll be getting the week's Red Book Same-Store Sale Index and the U.S. Labor Bureau's job opening survey. The USD JPY this morning seems to be in free falls, and there's very little data coming in that could change that for now. As we can see, we've plunged through the week's first target with S2 at 104.1350, patiently waiting. Italy's former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi returned to the media praising the president's decision to appoint former ECB President Mario Draghi to the contentious post of Prime Minister. He failed to mention that professional appointees have had little success for the voracious environment in the past. For example, Mario Monti, a former finance supremo at the EU, was almost driven out of the office for his attempted reforms. Italy indeed led European indices higher yesterday with a 1.5% rise, followed by the FTSE London's 0.5% plus, but with benchmarks this morning moving south. The euro is gaining ground after this morning's German trade surplus managed to add a 100 million euro, bringing it to 16.1 billion in December. This primarily on trade with China. And the pound added a 0.25% this morning after the British Retailers Consortium saw a nice 7.1% increase in retail sales for January. That's up for December's 4.8%. As we can see, cables plowed through 137.46 overnight and developed a bit of an engulf up top. The RSI seems optimistic, and so are we. With a reported 30% increase in Chinese auto sales pushing those German economy, Asian benchmarks are also up this morning. Both the Shanghai and Shenzhen composites adding over 2% and Nikkei 0.4 as machine tool orders loses 2 ticks to add 9.7% year on year. Overnight we'll be seeing Australian consumer sentiment, Japan's producer inflation, and China's consumer inflation for January. As power outages continue to blight the Iranian crypto farming sector, Bitcoin overnight took an 8K leap of faith, and it's currently at an all-time peak thanks to Tesla's seal of approval. Yesterday, the company pumped about $1.5 billion into the asset. Gold is up for the 5th day in a row and struggling with the long-term 1840 resistance level. And with Brent breaching the $60 mark, oil continues soaring. Tonight, the API's weekly stock count following last week's 4 million barrel withdrawal, which, barring surprises, should help. If Robinhood has been good to anyone, it's Reddit, which has doubled its valuation to $6 billion since its previous funding round. Company CEO Steve Huffman says the additional funds will be invested in development and distribution. Reddit is owned by Advanced Publications, a century-old family-held business, so there's no chance of them going public anytime soon. Japan's Honda this morning presented a surprising 67% jump in Q3 profits as car demand in Asia continues to recover. And in the US, Hasbro showed a 21% increase in revenues to $1.72 billion. EPS also topped expectations at $1.27, but shares fell on a profit warning coming from increased content investments. Today we'll be having reports from Cisco, Twitter, DuPont, and Goodyear. Well, all's good this far this week. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and we'll see you again tomorrow.